Welcome to The Explainer. We take some of the most fascinating reports out there and break them down into these clear, visual stories.
You know, every single gem tells a story of incredible pressure, heat, all this wild chemistry. But here's the thing. To actually read that story, you need some pretty special tools. And, well, a bit of a detective's eye.
So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go inside the GIA's labs and play Gemstone Detective, digging into some of their most unusual new discoveries. We're talking about fakes, impossible objects, and new wonders of the natural world. Let's get into it. All right, our first case file is all about nature's impossible creations. And I mean that literally. These are gems that, on paper, just shouldn't exist. They seem to totally defy the laws of nature as we know them.
So, this first case, it starts small, but the mystery is huge. Check this out. A tiny little stone, just 0.73 carats, shows up at the GIA lab in Tokyo. At first glance, okay, it's a single, beautiful gem. But it was hiding this totally impossible secret. It was actually behaving like two completely different gemstones at the same time.
And here is that impossible combination. I mean, look at this. On one side, you've got your standard chrysoberyl, that beautiful, stable, greenish-yellow gem. But on the other side, you have the incredibly rare alexandrite, the one that famously changes color from blue-green to a reddish-purple depending on the light. Now, for these two to be fused together in a single natural stone, get this, it's the first time GIA has ever documented something like this. A true geological marvel.
Okay, next up, we've got two absolutely massive diamonds. We're talking over 8 carats each. But honestly, their size isn't even the craziest part. What's truly breathtaking is what's locked deep inside them. It's like entire galaxies of clouds, these ghostly, almost perfectly formed star shapes.
So in normal light, you can kind of see these stars inside. They're a little faint, a little brownish, but then you expose them to UV light, and their secret just explodes out. They begin to glow. They absolutely blaze with this vivid, almost otherworldly green light. It's incredible.
So what are these things? They're called asteriated clouds. Basically, it's a star-like pattern that forms inside a diamond when you get these microscopic inclusions of elements like nickel and hydrogen. So you have these super high concentrations of nickel and hydrogen that got trapped while the diamond was growing, creating this little celestial pattern that's now locked forever inside the hardest substance on Earth. How cool is that?
Okay, so we've seen nature's impossible creations. Now let's switch gears to case file 2, appearance versus reality. Because in these next cases, what you see on the surface is definitely not the whole story. And sometimes that's on purpose.
So picture this. A client sends in this gorgeous, vibrant red stone. They want an origin report. Is it natural or is it lab-grown? At first glance, man, it seems to have all the hallmarks of a natural gem. You know, those little imperfections that actually make a stone more believable.
So the gemologists put it under the microscope, and they see some misleading clues. There are these natural-looking milky clouds, some strong angular graining. These are exactly the kinds of features that would make you think, yep, this came out of the ground. It's the real deal.
But the chemical fingerprint told a very different story. See, the lab has tools that go way beyond just a microscope. They can analyze the stone's chemical makeup element by element. And that's where they found the hidden truth. The truth that those natural-looking features were actually designed to hide. And here is the smoking gun, right here in the chemical analysis. Look at the clean area of the stone, almost no lanthanum or lead. But then look at that supposedly natural cloudy area. The numbers just skyrocket. That massive spike is the definitive, undeniable fingerprint of a specific type of synthetic ruby. It was a really clever fake, designed to fool the eye, but the science just doesn't lie. Case closed. All right, next up, a cat's eye ruby. Or is it something else entirely? This stone was sent in as a ruby. And hey, you can see why. It's got this beautiful purplish pink color and that really cool cat's eye effect.
But this turned out to be a classic case of mistaken identity. Unlike the last one, this wasn't a clever fake. It just wasn't a ruby. The team ran some basic gemological tests, and right away, the density was all wrong. It was way too light to be ruby. Turns out, it was actually identified as hexagonite, which is a variety of the mineral tremolite. Still a beautiful and rare stone, just not what the owner thought it was.
And sometimes the deception is way simpler. This jade carving came in with this incredible metallic sheen, but that shine wasn't from the stone itself.
The secret? A super thin, see-through layer of mylar plastic was just glued to the back. A pretty clever trick to fool the eye, but yeah, not gonna fool the lab.
Okay, for our final case file, let's dive into the mysteries of the pearl. We're gonna look at two incredible examples that really push the boundaries of what gemologists even thought was possible.
So, a lab tech is going through a huge strand of over 1,000 saltwater pearls. Just a routine day. But then one of them, just an ordinary-looking pearl, catches their eye because it's acting weird. Until the lights went out and the X-rays came on. Because while it looked totally normal on the outside, when they hit it with X-rays, it did something no saltwater pearl at GIA had ever done before. It started to glow this deep, intense red.
I mean, this quote from the lab says it all. This is the first time GAI has encountered a nacreous-looking calcite pearl that exhibited red fluorescence. This was a genuine first for science. The theory is that it's caused by manganese in its structure, something they'd only ever seen in some freshwater pearls before, never in saltwater. A total game changer.
And speaking of remarkable, how about this beast? The lab also received this colossal blister pearl, weighing in at an incredible 90.08 carats. And it wasn't just the sheer size that was amazing, but look at that stunning array of colors on it.
So we've looked at these incredible case files. What's the final clue? What's the big takeaway when you see all this stuff that's more than meets the eye?
It's this. The true story of a gem is written inside it. It's in its chemistry, it's in its structure. And gemologists, well, they're the detectives who know how to read that story. Anyone can see the surface beauty, but it takes a scientist to uncover the truth that's locked inside.
I mean, if these are the secrets we've just uncovered, it just makes you wonder, right? What other impossible wonders are still out there, just waiting to be discovered? From impossible combinations to secret origins, these discoveries are a great reminder that there's always something more to find.